Men in Black finished with the second best record in the association and are proving to be perhaps among the most formidable in the league. Now, the Spurs are making their first NBA Finals appearance since 2014 and doing so with a lot of talent and a little faith. I mean, it never hurts to have divine intervention on your side when you're taking on the defending champs. San Antonio is looking for their 6th NBA title, so now the best-kept secret in the universe embarks on the journey. Here come the Men in Black. And let's take a look at how they got there. First round, taking on the Trailblazers, Victor Wembanyama making his playoff debut. He had 35 points in Game 1. That passed Tim Duncan for a new franchise record. Spurs dominated the Blazers in Game 5, defeating the Blazers 4-1 in the series, reaching the conference semis for the first time since 2017, where they took on the Timberwolves. Now, Spurs up 2-1 in the series, but Game 4, Wemby elbows Naz Reid in the face, issued a flagrant 2 foul, earned his first career ejection, and unsurprisingly, the Spurs lost the game. Wemby did bounce back in Game 5 with 27, 17, and 5, and 3 blocks, leading the Spurs to a victory. Game 6, Spurs dominated the Tibbies, 30-point win to close out the series. 4-2 in the series, and San Antonio advances to the Western Conference Finals for the 15th time in franchise history, where they take on the defending champ Oklahoma City Thunder. Game 1, Wemby had a night to remember. He exploded 41 points and 24 rebounds, an otherworldly stat line, sealing the game with a pair of dunks. The Spurs won 122-115 in double overtime, giving the Thunder their first playoff loss this season. In Game 6, Spurs trailing in the series. In a must-win game for the Spurs, Wemby continued to be dominant. The third quarter, Spurs went on a 20-0 run to take control of the game. They'd force a Game 7. Now, early in the fourth quarter, Wemby knocks down the step back. He had 22 points and 7 rebounds. Spurs up 9 there under 7 minutes left in the fourth. Wemby on the bench with his 5th foul. Isaiah Hartenstein blocked by Luke Cornett in a block that some might call generational, Trev. Cornett, a huge stop at the rim. Wemby is pumped. And off the miss, Stephon Castle there for the putback. Spurs win 111-103, advancing the finals for the first time since 2014.
Stephen A. back with us now. The NBA Finals is set, big dog. Spurs, Knicks, history of the Knicks against the future, potentially, of the Spurs. What are your first thoughts on this here matchup?
Well, your first thoughts is that, you've got a poised New York Knicks team, winners of 11 straight playoff games by an average of 23.8 points, simply annihilating the competition over the last 11 games or so, outscoring them by 262 points. This is what you're talking about when you talk about the New York Knicks. You're talking about one of the great players in the game today in Jalen Brunson, a guy in Karl Anthony Towns that's a facilitator and a sniper from long range, with guys like OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and others who know their roles and have played it exceptionally well, and Mike Brown, who's a championship-tested coach. This is a man that's got 2 rings as an assistant coach. He's coached in an NBA Finals before, and you know that he knows what he's doing. And so you know that the New York Knicks, back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999, are primed and ready and rested to go. I've got a bit of trepidation, a little concern, because Mitchell Robinson, their backup big at 7 feet, 245 pounds, somehow, some way managed to break his pinky during the week off or so that he's had. Don't get me started with that. But in the end, going against the San Antonio Spurs, their inexperience is something that the New York Knicks can try and lead on. But the reality is they got a 7'5" alien by the name of Victor Wembanyama from France, who is all world. And he showed up in this postseason and let everybody know who he is. And by the way, his supporting cast ain't shabby at all. Experienced in Harrison Barnes, a champion, and De'Aaron Fox, who's been in Game 7s before. Young studs like Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell. You look at these guys and what they bring to the table, along with Kelton Johnson. They got a lot of weapons, and Champagnie. They got a lot of weapons. They can win the championship. They're going to be the favorites to win the championship. But I'm not counting the New York Knicks out by a long shot.
Okay, so are we picking the Knicks, though? I just want to make sure for the people. Are you ready to make that pick?
Me, I am.
Okay.
Me, I am. But I can't look in good faith. I'm an honest broker. I have to sit up there and acknowledge that the San Antonio Spurs have been the better team during the regular season. They finished with 62 wins. They are justified to be the favorites to win this championship, considering the fact that they were in the better conference, and they obviously had tougher competition in the conference finals going up against OKC. But damn it, I ain't jumping off the shit with my New York Knicks. If there's a way, they will find it. I believe in Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and the crew, and I'm sticking with the Knicks as always.
Sticking with the orange and blue sky, Stephen A. We appreciate
That's
it as
right.
always, sir.
You know it.
Been tracking player minutes in 1951. Since then, the Spurs are the second youngest team to reach the finals. San Antonio's average age is 25 years and 20 days. Only the 1977 Blazers were younger then, but wouldn't you know it, they were old enough to win. The Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A., the Spurs win Game 7, advancing to their first NBA Finals since 2014. What did you see from this team down the stretch?
A lot of poise, a lot of courage, big-time shots from shot makers that you wouldn't expect to operate in the Game 7, considering their youth. Wembanyama, big-time shots. De'Aaron Fox, a big-time shot. Champagnie coming off the bench to give you 20 actually started. I mean, you just look at what they was doing here. He's had 20 points. He showed up and delivered. Dylan Harper showed up and delivered. It was just a collective effort. 7 players scoring in double figures for the San Antonio Spurs. They didn't sit around and play the role of spectator as Victor Wembanyama did his thing. No, they knew he would need help, and they stepped up and they delivered in the Game 7. It helped that Jalen Williams and obviously A.J. Mitchell wasn't available for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but in the end, in a Game 7 on the road, considering the youth that exists on this San Antonio Spurs team, you got to give them a boatload of credit for doing what they did tonight. They really, really looked good. They stepped up and they showed that they were made for the moment, and you got to give them their props. It was really impressive.
For the Thunder, their depth got tested, and unfortunately, they fall on the losing side of this here equation. Their chance at repeating ends in the conference finals for them. So what was different about this year's postseason run for OKC?
Well, the fact of the matter is you didn't have Jalen Williams, J-Dub, the backcourt mate of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for pretty much all of these playoffs. He really only played in about 3 games. He wasn't really, I'm talking about this entire postseason. He wasn't that effective. Shai Gilgeous shows up, he gives you 35, and he has virtually no help. Alex Caruso only hit 3 or 14 shots. And Chet Holmgren was such a no-show that they sent an APB out for him during the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. It was an awful no-show on his part to just attempt about a couple of shots for the game, knowing that Victor Wembanyama, a nemesis on a prep level for this man, was out there doing his thing. It is a real indictment against Chet Holmgren and the no-show that he was in tonight's game. And as a result, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Oklahoma City Thunder, rife with picks from now through 2032, I believe it's like 13 first-round picks and 16 second-round picks they have as draft capital at their disposal. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they were looking in a different direction, looking to move Chet Holmgren to get somebody that can help offensively on that front line, because Victor Wembanyama is not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. He's going to be around a long time. And if you want to capture another championship in Oklahoma City, you got to deal with that man.
I don't know if there's any amount of help that's going to save you from a brother that's 7'4", hitting crossovers and step-back threes in the midst of a Game 7. So, Stephen A.